In this video, we'll explore the new features introduced in the 2025 version of CADmeister. In this update, we aim to expand the program infrastructure to facilitate users' 3D workflow. Let's start with the first part, the visibility improvements. Under this topics, there are 9 subtopics in this update. Starting off with the palette section, we've introduced new features across various palettes to make it easier to locate parts. I'll start by clicking on the saddle. You'll notice that it's highlighted in pink across all palettes. If I click on other parts, the same highlighting behavior appears as well. Next, we have a new feature. Center the group to which a selected entity belongs in the palette button. This is especially useful when working with many subparts and when the palette is minimized. First, I'll collapse the group so you can clearly see how it works. Take a look at this box. There are currently 3 parts displayed, but the saddle isn't visible. After I click on the saddle, you'll see that the saddle part is brought into view and highlighted in pink. Now, if we select a part directly from the palette, it will be highlighted in blue instead. This can be done from any of the 3 palettes. In addition, a centering command has been added to the right-click menu. When selected, the system will automatically navigate to that part. Finally, for sorting settings, go to Options, Palette, and check the third option. This allows numerical part names in an assembly to be sorted in the same way as in Windows, making everything more organized and easier to find.
Introducing new feature Group Lock and Layer Lock. You can simply right-click on a layer and select Lock. Once a layer is locked, any elements within that layer can no longer be edited. There will be a symbol and status show on the locked group or layer. Also, a notification will appear if you attempt to make changes. Circle and Line to Point has been updated this version. New Arc command was split from Circle, and Line to Point has been renamed to Line to Entity. Starting with Circle, the command interface has been upgraded. Inside, there are 3 subcommands. I'll select the 3 entity option. Here, we select 3 points to create a circle. After selecting the first 2 points, if a circle can be formed, a preview will appear. Then, we choose the 3rd point to finish the circle. As for Line to Entity, it works the same way as before, but preview is now available. The relationship between text and symbol to PMI view is now implemented. Here, you can see that this PMI view have both text and symbol. Next, I'll modify the size of the part by editing the sketch to make it larger. And then click Regenerate. When we return to the same view, you'll notice that the text and symbols automatically adjust their positions to match the updated part size. Another useful feature is the Reset Disassociation command. For example, if we want the value 30 here to no longer be linked to the part, we can use this command to disable the linkage. Also, the Display Associate Entity is used to check elements that we've reset before. When they are selected, the status of Not Linked is shown, and they are highlighted in red. It can also show the entity that is linked to the selected parts. This feature is for users who create drawings in the Japanese version and then open them in the English version. You can now convert imported views from Japanese to English. To enable this feature, go to Option, Drawing, then check on the box Show View Object Name in English.
diameter command in EasyMeasure can be found under the Figure Information menu, represented by the small circle icon here. When we click on a circular part, such as the wheel, a balloon will appear showing the dimension. We can freely drag and reposition this balloon as needed. For display options, we can choose to show the diameter, the radius, or both at the same time. When we right-click on a sketch, you'll now see the Copy and Change Layer commands available directly in the menu. Both functions work the same way as before, but are now much easier to access. Next, let's look at creating a circle within a sketch. Select the Circle command. At this point, we can define the size of the circle by choosing the input as a diameter or a radius. Next is the improvement on Trim and Divide command in Easy Modeling. Here, I want to trim this frame section. In the drop-down menu, you'll see the newly added Member Surface option, which allows us to select specific surfaces as reference. With this, we can directly select just the rectangular surface, shown here as a plane, and then flip the direction. As a result, the extra bits is trimmed accordingly. Now, let's try another example using a flat surface. We'll follow the same steps. Select the pipe, then choose this plane as the member surface. You'll notice a second option here that we can enable, allowing the system to treat all planar surfaces as infinite planes. Finally, we can decide whether to keep or remove the reference surface. By selecting Auto Mode and checking this option, the reference surface used for trimming will be automatically removed after the operation is complete. Let's look at the update on Change Placement command. In the right-click menu, we can select Change Placement. When selected, you'll notice a new button added on the far right. When we click on it, it opens the Adjust Position command, which have the same constraint set as Define Constraint command, but works slightly different. First, we'll use a concentric constraint to align the wheel hub with the axle. We select the axle as the base and the hub as the moving entity. Then add it to the list. Next, we position the wheel properly by defining the distance between two parallel surfaces. Select the surfaces, input the distance value, and add it to the list again. It's important to note that the constraints used here are not saved in the constraint list. They are only used as temporary aids for positioning. Finally, let's move on to 3D data exchange, which is the last section of CAD. In this update, improvements have been made to step file conversion, making it more comprehensive. It now supports models with surfaces of revolution along the y-axis, as well as boundaries defined by free curves. In addition, the Save as Selected Format command now supports saving in the 3D CADmeister format. This enhancement improves overall data exchange efficiency and ensures higher data precision. For CATIA, the DataKit module has been upgraded to support 3D annotations from imported files, compatible with CATIA V5 R27 to R34. PMI conversion for CATIA V5 now also supports curve dimensions from imported data, further improving the stability of data exchange. Healing SP command has been improved to work with either a composite surface or a solid. with the minimum selection requirement reduced from 2 elements to just 1. This means the command can now be executed even when only a single surface is selected.
A new tab has been added, allowing the observation folder to be set up to 5 folders, each configured by file format. At the top, there's also a new function to store logs in a specified folder. If you want to enable automatic conversion, simply click this button. The system will scan the selected folders, and once I move the target file into the folder, it will be converted immediately. You'll see logs displayed at the top, and any errors will appear in red. In this case, the error occurs because the destination folder is set to read only. Before closing the program, I'll leave auto conversion turned on. A notification will appear indicating that automatic conversion is still running. When I reopen the program, auto conversion remains enabled. This time, I'll turn it off before exiting. You can also create shortcuts to toggle this feature before launching the program by adding Watch On or Watch Off at the end of the shortcut name. When launching from a shortcut set to Watch On, auto conversion will start automatically based on your settings.
Lastly, a new file format, FBX, has been added. This format is mainly used for animation. Looking ahead, there will be a new program called CADmeister, which will use FBX files from CADmeister to simulate animations, particularly focusing on scrap falling in press operations. CADmeister has recently been launched in Japan and is expected to become available for us to use in the future.
That concludes the updates for the CAD section. Thank you for watching.